Hello everyone, and welcome to MCP Soundcheck, the return of MCP Soundcheck Season 2. This is Season 2.
The premiere.
The premiere, and we're going to start out with a band that Joe and I both like.
We've been talking about doing this
for months.
Since last season.
Yeah, and we are going to start with Mastodon. So what we're going to do is, I know that the first actual album release was Remission, but they released Call of the Mastodon, which is stuff they wrote before Remission.
Yeah, it's a compilation of Life's
Blood.
But
it was released after Crack the Sky, I believe. So
no, right before Crack the Sky.
Okay, right before Crack the Sky. So we're going to do it this way, to where we're going to do it by chronological order.
Actually, this might have been before Blood Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to start with the Call of the Mastodon. I apologize if we are looking at our phones, because we made notes of our rankings and stuff like that. So if you're not familiar with how sound checks usually go, we go through the album, we do our favorite songs, our least favorite songs, and then we're going to rank the albums. And at the end, if we do all the discography, we'll have a complete ranking of our favorite to least favorite albums.
Right.
Yes.
First thing, Call of the Mastodon, that's the one we're going to do first because it is 2 EPs, like a compilation / re-recording of the first 2 EPs before Remission came out.
Yes.
So we wanted to do this one first.
So this
album, it's emblematic of their earliest stuff.
This album came out in 2006, but it was before 2002, so yeah. But yeah, this album, I'm going to be real. I was really leaning towards not doing this album at all in this whole soundtrack.
You fought it until the very end.
Yes.
And then you realized that it's actually an even amount of albums if we include it.
Yes. And the reason why, because I don't really like this album.
Yeah.
I think it's too much, like, there's nothing special about it. It's too... It's not special like any other Mastodon album. It's just kind of like...
I really like this album.
Really?
Yes, I do. And I think the version that helps it the most is the one with the sound clips.
Oh, okay.
That they put before a bunch of the songs. I believe Life's Blood had a few of those. Like the very first song, Shadows That Move, it had a sound clip from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
That I think fits really well. There's one that's like Dancing Outlaw Jesse something. I can't remember his name. But there's a sound clip from that in the beginning of one of the songs. So I think it really kind of adds to it. And they don't really do anything with sound clips until, like they do Remission, I think it has a, like, Crusher Destroyer, I think, has the Jurassic Park roar.
Yes.
But that's about it. And I like the sound clips. That's the one thing that makes it a little different for me.
Yeah.
It kind of sets a tone. I've always been a fan of them.
Yeah.
The problem is just licensing.
Yeah. I listened to the one that had no sound clips, so that might have been different.
It's unfortunate because I remember getting the record and having the download code.
Yeah.
And downloading it, and it doesn't have the sound clips. But like if you go to Amazon Prime, like Amazon Music, it has the sound clips. So I listened to that version.
I think my hit, it's a tie.
Oh, yeah?
It's a tie between Battle at Sea and We Built This Come Death.
That is my hit. We Built This Come Death.
That
It is such
song
a great
is actually
song.
really good.
I like the first few songs.
Really?
And We Built This Come Death was the one that really, I think, shows off what Mastodon's going to be.
Yes.
In the next couple years.
Yes.
Yeah, I really dug it. Go ahead.
I apologize. We were shooting this at my apartment, and there's like weird noises going on with the pipes. I don't know. My skip. You're gonna hate me. Shadows That Move.
I can see it.
Very forgettable song.
I could see it. I think the sound clip helps that song a lot. That's the one with One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah. It's the first song, and it left kind of a bad taste. I was like...
And the song reminds me a lot of Crusher Destroyer.
Maybe it's because this is the last Mastodon album I've listened to all the other Mastodon albums except for this one. maybe that's why, because I know where they go, and I know how clever they can be, and how catchy they can be, and how their instrumentation is, their musicianship, there you go, that's the word I'm looking for. Musicianship is more tight. This one, it feels like... If they never released it, it'd be fine.
I kind of love, it's very, work in progress. Because we'll get to it later in these episodes, I'm going to have some controversial feelings. And I really dig this record. And I don't know what it is. It's just kind of raw energy that it has.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to pick a miss. And I picked Slick Leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song... Yeah.
It's close on my list.
On this record, it's basically a lot of the early stuff for me, misses are going to be kind of the songs that don't fit.
Yeah.
And this one did not fit this record for me.
I could see it.
And because I really dug Shadows That Move. I can't remember what the second song's called, but that one was great. Battle at Sea is great. And We Built This Come Death is, I think, the best out of all of them.
Yes.
And I think Slick Leg it doesn't give me much. The lyrics leave a little bit to be desired, I think. I mean, they've always been very kind of poetic, esoteric.
Yeah.
They're very metaphorical with their lyrics. Nothing's very direct.
Yeah.
And Slick Leg just didn't do it for me.
I understand. That was close to my list of songs that I was like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But next, we are doing 2002's Remission, aka the Fire album.
Right,
yes.
and the full-length debut.
Yes.
Because later on you'll have their major label debut later on. But this is their first full-length album.
That's the first one to feature... A lot of the early albums feature elements.
Well, this was... and the thing with this record, though, when it comes to the elements and the concept idea...
Yeah.
I believe this is one that they retroactively designated.
Okay.
I don't think they went in like Leviathan with a concept.
No.
I don't think they went in with Blood Mountain with a concept. I think this one they're like, you know what? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, and also this is mostly about apparently Daler, who's the drummer. His
Bran.
Yeah, his sister committed suicide, I believe, or died. And this was him coping. This is what Remission's about. And
a lot of this, it was him kind of exercising those pent-up feelings from when he was a teenager.
And it shows. This, when you say call...
So it's aggressive.
Call a master... Yeah, it's very... I now understand why they retroactively say it's fire. It's flames, because the rage and the anger and the fire, just it's there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. This, once they do Remission, it's a whole nother level compared to, Call the Mastodon. Call the Mastodon is just they're finding their way. It's nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
But Remission is where it's starting to get. It's not super special like the next two albums after this, but it's worth talking about. I would always ignore Remission because Leviathan and Blood Mountain and Crack the Sky. Who cares about Remission or whatever?
Right. And when I heard about Mastodon, Leviathan was out, and that was the big one, and everybody was like, guys, you're missing out if you're not talking about Mastodon. I remember Leviathan being a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I did the same for a long time. I didn't listen to Remission until years later. And I really dig this record too.
Yeah.
I think I think a lot of the songs are really strong. I had more picks for hits, and I had more picks for misses on this than I did for Call of the Mastodon. Because Call of the Mastodon's very much a love it or hate it album.
Yeah, everything's very down the middle.
Everything is very similar on that record. There's nothing that really stands out.
Yeah.
And Remission, they start kind of venturing out, taking little steps, and in Leviathan, they take leaps.
Yeah. And we'll get into the next episode is Leviathan and Blood Mountain, which is going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one to pick. So what's your hit?
The obvious one, Crusher Destroyer.
Really?
That's the obvious one for me. Like, this is why I picked a bunch of other ones too. Because I love they set the tone early.
Yes.
And I love the guitar riff for Crusher Destroyer. Just that grimy, fast, sludgy, descending, distorted chords.
This is where they're starting. You could see like they're starting to kind of the wheels are turning here.
They're making more mathematical decisions.
Yes.
At this point,
mine would be March of the Fire Ants. That I know that's one of their hits, but fucking that song is so tight.
Yeah, I actually don't have that on here in my list of best and worst songs. I think March of the Fire Ants is kind of down the middle for me.
Really?
Which is weird. It's a single.
Yeah, what I have is top two for me was Fire Ants and Crusher Destroyer.
Crusher Destroyer is so great. It starts off with the roar from Jurassic Park.
And
if that's not a sneaky way to make it my favorite song.
I feel like that's also a detriment because one of the best songs is the first song.
Yeah. I picked Where Strides the Behemoth and Workhorse as my two other ones.
Workhorse is...
and Workhorse is great.
Yeah.
But you gotta get there. You gotta slog through Remission.
I like Trilobite.
Trilobite's actually on my list of worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's your worst? I feel like we have the same one.
At Burning Man.
Oh, mine is Trample Under Hoof.
That's my second one.
Because
Trilobite was like on the low end of the spectrum. Like, I don't mind it as much. Burning Man and Trampled Under Hoof, they were not.
I'm gonna say
cool with me.
Trample Under Hoof sounds like garbage.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's a jumbled mess.
I didn't.
I get what they're going for. They're going for speed, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Like I said, a lot of these are like Trilobite didn't really fit with everything, but it's a better song than Burning Man and Trampled Under Hoof. Yeah. I did not dig
I'm
those
glad.
two.
I was thinking, I hope Joe doesn't like Trampled Under Hoof. I hope he doesn't like it. I don't like it that much.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I think it's very fair. Yeah. And I think, they're at this point.
I feel like it's like they're going forward. Like if Crusher Destroyer, it's going forward somewhere, but then you get Trample Under Hoof, which takes them back to they're just doing thrashy stuff. Just like it just there's nothing that really.
And the lyrics in those two are not that great either.
Yeah, Burning Man, that's also not a good one.
It's not that great.
Burning Man was up there too for me.
But Trilobite, I wasn't gonna mention it, but it's on the lower end of the spectrum for me. Yeah. And that one's just because it doesn't feel like it fits in, with everything else.
Yes.
But you can't go wrong with Crusher Destroyer, and most of the songs on here, they all kind of seem to fit together.
Yeah.
But
that's our thoughts. Oh, forgot.
We got to do the ranking.
We forgot the most important part, ranking. I'll just do mine. From best to worst, Remission, Call the Mastodon.
Call the Mastodon, Remission.
I'm very interested in what's going to happen in the later albums.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like we have...
controversy already started.
I feel like we have opposing
and
views.
We haven't even gotten started yet, because I'm already a couple albums ahead of you. And I know where my rankings are going.
I mean, I've listened to all of them. I just, for this show, I really dive into it.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing for me. Like, I wanted to make sure I went and looked at the lyrics as I was listening to them as well, just so I can know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So next week, we are doing Leviathan and Blood Mountain. This is a big...
The two big numbers in there, because Crack the Sky is probably their biggest and most successful, I think.
Yeah.
Most critically acclaimed.
But is it the best? But
then you got Leviathan and Blood Mountain set the table for that record. And
it goes
that's when they start getting real big.
Yeah, it goes from there. So until next time, we're gonna talk. That's what we're gonna do. Leviathan and Blood Mountain next week. So until next time, please subscribe, share this, please. I want to do more Soundcheck. Any other suggestions? We have a new setup. What do you think we should do with it? This setup's gonna kind of evolve because right now there's furniture right here that I'm gonna be fixing up. So this whole set's gonna be a little different soon. So let us know in the comment section below what other albums you think you should do. What's your thoughts on Remission and Call of the Mastodon? Are you excited for the next few episodes of Soundcheck where we go through all the other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you like it enough, we might do the EPs, which is just like, Cold Dark Place. Yeah. We might do the EPs down the road as just like one episode or something like that. But right now we're just doing 2 in an episode. So let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe, blah, blah. That's all we need. And I think all I have to say left is remember that rock and roll never forgets, and neither do we.